Chapter 11. Gulliver and the Lilliputians. One fine morning on 4th May of the year 1699, young Dr. Lemuel Gulliver said goodbye to his beloved wife and children and eagerly boarded the sailing ship Antelope. Gulliver had always loved adventure, and when he was offered the position of the ship doctor, he accepted it at once. Gulliver got an opportunity to travel to the South Sea. For many weeks all went well, but soon their ship ran into bad weather. Antelope was hit by a bad storm and it split upon a rock. Gulliver and his companions were able to escape on a small boat, but the wind overturned it. What became of his companions, he could not tell. Gulliver managed to swim to an island. Exhausted, he lay down on the soft grass and fell asleep. Let Gulliver tell you in his own words. The actual text has been slightly changed to make it easier for the students, the events that followed. When I awoke, it was just daylight. I tried to stand up, but was not able to move. I found my hands and legs were fastened on each side to the ground, and my hair, which was very long and thick, tied down in the similar manner. I also felt several thin cords across my body, from my armpits to my thighs. I could only look upwards, and as the sun began to grow hot, the sunlight hurt my eyes. Then I was horrified to find something moving on my left leg and to my chest. Bending my eyes downwards as much as I could, I perceived it to be a human creature, barely 6 inches high, with a bow and arrow in his hands and a quiver on his back. Meanwhile, I felt at least 40 more of the same kind following the first. I was so surprised that I roared aloud. At this, all of them ran back in a fright, and some of them, as I was told afterwards, were hurt by the falls they got by tumbling from my sides to the ground. However, they soon returned, and one of them climbed up to where he could get a full sight of my face. "Hekinah degul," he cried out, but I did not know what it meant. With a violent pull, I managed to break a few of the strings that bound my left hand. I then tried to catch some of the little creatures, but they ran away quickly. Then one of them cried out, "Tolgo Phonak." In an instant I felt my left hand and my face pierced with hundreds of tiny arrows. I decided not to anger my small captors further. I lay still and tried to think about how to get them to set me free. After a little while, I heard some knocking near my right ear and the sound of a great crowd. Turning my head as far as I could, I saw that some of the tiny people were building a platform about 1.5 feet high. Now one little man, who seemed to be someone of importance, climbed up to the top of it and made a long speech, which I could not understand. He said the word Lilliput several times, however, and I guessed that this might be the name of the place I was in. He looked quite friendly, and since I was very hungry, I pointed to my mouth to indicate this. Before long, about 100 inhabitants set ladders against my sides and climbed up and walked towards my mouth, carrying little baskets full of bread and meat. Then someone called out, "Peplum Salem." At this, they loosened the cords that bound me a little, so I was able to turn on my side. Before I knew it, I was fast asleep. Only later did I discover that their doctors had put a sleeping potion into my food so that I would sleep and be taken to the city without any problem. For transporting me, the emperor had ordered his carpenters to make a carriage of wood. It had 22 wheels attached to it, raising the frame 3 inches above the ground. I was put on the carriage. It took 1,500 horses, each about 4.5 inches high, to take me to the city.